Word.
Yes, I think you want that. This confused. What? Just make it this. Oh, you're. No, I was just in the wrong document. Yeah. No, I think is look at the scheme. Okay, let me know when you filled that out and then we'll get started. Yes. Yes. You guys can ask questions, see whatever. The last time I know you did that.
Recording's going.
Okay, I'm just waiting.
Oh, all good.
I mean, I wasn't there, but in the class, yes. I just was.
Okay. All right, we're gonna begin the focus group. My name's Callie. Thank you all for being here. This should take about 30 minutes of your time. Do you all consent to being recorded?
Yeah.
We can get started with some of the questions. What's all of your preferred way of communication? Do you like to have things like sent to you through social media or through text messaging?
I would say messages. Yeah, probably just through texting. Yeah.
I think it depends, like, if it's like an organization, I think I prefer email, I think it's more formal. And I could see everything and I could go to the links and stuff. Messaging, I feel like from a big organization gets annoying, like it's spam and I don't want it. But from a friend or whatever, definitely a message.
Yeah.
Or about like things going on, like any events, a message would be good.
Okay.
I agree with that as well.
How do you guys feel about skiing or snowboarding as a recreational activity? Do you think it's cool, dangerous, enjoyable?
I like skiing a lot, but I'm not very good at it.
Do you ski?
I do.
Okay.
I went skiing for the first time in 12 years, like a month ago.
Yeah.
And I would say that it's a good sport if you have the money at the time to get the grasp of it, but like it's not, I wouldn't say it's like a recreational sport. I'd say you need to have the experience and then the money obviously for the passes and everything like that. So it's kind of like part of the ball.
I think that it's like a very high level to entry or high barrier to entry between like money and skill. It's either like you have the money and you gotta spend a couple of days like not doing fun stuff or like typically fun stuff, or you don't have the money and then you'll never be able to get up. So it's kind of interesting dynamic.
Yeah, I think it's a lot more accessible here for sure. Like I personally don't ski just because like I don't have the stuff for it and I rather sleep in than like drive super far. But I think like all of my roommates are like getting up and going every single weekend, like every day of the weekend. I also think, I mean, personally, I think it's scary. Like I've skied before and it like scared the bleep out of me. Like, I don't know. And like everybody I know gets injured. So it kind of freaks me out. Maybe I'm just being like, I don't know, like cowardly about it.
No,
but
that's reasonable.
I just think it's a little bit dangerous.
So you have skied before?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I ski sometimes, but not I don't go every weekend, but I mean, it's pretty fun. There's pretty high level of entry because I feel like if you don't start skiing when you're like 6 or 7 years old, it's really hard to get into it when you're older for snowboarding. So I don't know, I feel like it's just one of those things that if you grew up doing it, then you'll do it for the rest of your life, but it's really hard to get into once you're an adult.
Yeah, I like skiing. I try to go as much as I can. My whole family has done it, so try to take after them and go with them.
For those of you that do ski, do you have an Icon pass, an Epic pass, or do you buy like day passes?
I have both of them.
Both of them?
Yeah, I have an icon.
I ski, I have an icon pass.
I'm lucky in the sense that my family provides my pass. We're a big family of 6, and so it's expensive to ski. And so we always do like the 4-packs at Loveland
Mhm.
because those are super affordable.
Wait, can I circle back to the first question you were talking about earlier? I think that, like, I don't know if this is a differentiation, but I think it's not a recreational sport, it's like an extreme sport, like mountain biking or whatever else are extreme sports. But, like, I think there is a level of enjoyment that you can't get out of anything else, like, there is no other experience where you are just gliding on snow, like, that is very unique.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of fun, yeah.
Something I also wanted to say with that question is that I think with skiing that it kinda sometimes lacks diversity. And I feel like making it more inclusive would be nice, but then again, with that comes like the financial aspect too.
Mhm.
And I also need to say it is a cool experience, like, I agree with your point, I think the nature aspect of skiing is unmatched.
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, I
So-
completely agree. For those of you that don't have passes or haven't been in a while, is it just because of like, you said it was scary and like Alan, like, why haven't you gone? Sorry,
I just
didn't
got
mean to
like
make
caught
fun.
up, for me personally, no, it's good, I personally got caught up with like other things like sports, and then like, just over time, I got injuries in those sports, and then just like. Lost touch with it, and then COVID came, so that shut it down for a second, and then when I came here. I started to want to get back into it, so I think for me personally, it was just like throughout life, I just kind of got carried away with other stuff, and so that's why I stopped going. As much, so.
For those of you that enjoy skiing, how do you feel after like the end of a ski day?
Sore.
So,
Yeah. It's tiring, but it's still like, it's kind of rewarding just to like be done after what you did.
I feel like there's nothing better than taking off your ski boots.
taking off your ski boots.
When I went, I felt like I aged 20 years. My back was but it was worth it.
Do you feel like proud of yourself when you like attempt new tricks or like ski faster than you have in the past?
I would say, so, I would say, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
How would you try to get somebody else to ski with you?
I would just be very attentive and like uplifting, I guess, like I know it's a new thing, and if they're not comfortable with it, start off slow and help them out, I guess. Don't get mad at them like too quickly.
Would you be like interested in helping your friends, or does that seem like really hard and like annoying?
For me, I'm not very good at skiing, and so I feel like I'm kind of a threat to everyone around me with my skiing. And so it's probably best for me not to teach people.
That's
You know what I mean?
fair. That's fair. What would you look for in a teacher then?
I don't know, probably just like maybe giving me some tips on how to minimize my threat. But
Yeah. Yeah.
I would want somebody who's like really patient, and so, like for me, I got lucky because my friend's dad is a volunteer instructor for like special people. So he helped me a lot with getting back into the grasp, and he had a lot of patience, and like I'd fall like probably like every 2 minutes on that first run, and like every time he'd be waiting behind me, just telling me to practice my stick and turn and all that, so just patience, honestly.
I agree, or like, I don't know, I've always had like friends who ski and they always want me to go with them, and I'm always like, it's gonna be annoying having to teach somebody new. I would wish that like, yeah, I agree with the patience. I think just like someone who genuinely wouldn't get like sick of it, like they wanna like have a day where they're taking it easy and they don't wish that they were doing harder stuff.
Mhm.
It's like hang out with me on the greens instead of going and doing everything else, maybe like a day.
Double.
Yeah, right.
That's awesome. Do you see skiing and snowboarding as like a social thing, a competitive sport, or like how do you view it?
All of the above. I would say it's definitely a sport where you can hang out with people, and then you go to the lodge, you get drinks, you lunch, you talk about what you've done, and you go back out there. Then you have like X Games in Aspen, competitive sport, like this year, I think we had what, like 2 records broken, yeah, snowboarding or something like that. You got the extreme part, and then, you got the people that live in the towns, and it's like their hobby, they work 9 to 5, and then they go up to the mountain during the weekend, and they spend all their time skiing as their hobby.
Well said.
Do you think you have access to necessary resources such as like equipment, lessons, like getting passes? Like what makes it harder for you to go skiing?
This is really specific, but I have really tight calves. And like I feel like the ski boots never like accommodate that because like I needed to fit my foot obviously first, but yeah, so probably the equipment is kind of interesting to play around with, but then at the same time it's needed, so.
I would say that the pass kind of hinders a little bit of people going because of how expensive it is. And then for somebody like me who is getting back into it or trying to, it's just like the amount of like intimidation around you. You have like people like, for example, when I went, there's this guy who was just like, his son got tired and he started carrying him and skiing down. That's like intimidating. So like for me, it would be hard to find another group of people who have the same experience level, unless it's like a starting group or something like that. So I'd say experience and intimidation plays a big part of it.
My biggest limiter is I don't have a car, so I just feel like a bum every weekend trying to find any group of people to just go with. But it always works out.
I'd probably say the traffic, getting back or going. Cause I know sometimes I wanna go, but I'm like, do I really wanna make an hour and a half drive, 3 hours? After I'm tired and, or I'll just stay home, so I'd say probably the traffic's the biggest thing for me.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Have you ever tried to take a bus to go to one of the ski mountains before?
Nope.
No,
No.
I didn't even know that existed.
Yeah, there are a few buses that go to like Eldora and like other mountains around I-70, but a lot of people don't know about it necessarily. What do you think could help reduce the intimidation factor of trying skiing for the first time or getting back into it?
Maybe if they were able to make like obviously they have like the training areas, but like a specific made beginner course, like, and obviously you have like your blues and greens and all that, but you'll still have like people that are like doing double black diamonds going on the greens and the blues. So maybe if there was just like a specific beginner intermediate course where only like beginners could go on, I think that would help.
It's a great idea. You should tell them, tell all the ski places that.
Would either of you try to get taught or have a lesson from someone who's a part of free ride or free ski?
Well, I feel like that's so annoying, like, I feel like they'd hate that, having to like teach me, I'm scared, I'm bad, I'm slow. And they just have to like, I mean, I guess if they knew what they were getting themselves into and they have like an obsession with helping people get good at skiing, if it brought them so much joy, then maybe, but if I was just to ask somebody like, hey, you're on free ski, do you wanna teach me? They'd be like, no, I wanna go by myself, if you drive me, maybe I'll consider, you know.
Nah,
No.
I'm good, especially if I got somebody younger than me telling me what to do. So that's the first thing, and the second thing is I feel more comfortable if it's somebody I knew. So that's why, like, I would probably ask my friends or my roommates first before I go to somebody in free ride and be like, yo, it's good, teach me how to shred, et cetera, et cetera.
Do you think that skiing is a big thing for people like applying to ski ropes? Like, do you think it influences their application?
I think there's people that come here just to become ski bumps.
I agree, I think it's like more than anything else.
Yes.
Who came from Florida and who loves skiing so much so that he goes every morning before classes at like 4 a.m. and comes back. It's just his thing. He literally goes all the time, and that was his main reason for coming.
Yeah, I knew a guy like that, and he did it to where he only had online classes, asynchronous, and he would spend the weekdays going skiing. And then you do all of his work and stuff on the weekend, and I think he amassed like a total of like. Above 70 hours skiing in like a season. So, yeah,
For people that face a lot of injuries, or if you have faced an injury and continued to ski afterwards or continued to play sports afterwards, what makes you get back into it? Is it scary for you?
Or you can go with
I broke my ankle in my senior year of high school, and then getting back into it, I did a lot of PT. But going back into it, I was just like taking it slow and not going past my limits at a certain, at a certain time, just gradually getting into it. So I wouldn't, at least for me, it wasn't scary just because I was comfortable with it. I just didn't want to, hurt myself too quickly, I guess.
For me, there's two things. First, my parents, when we go skiing, everybody has to go skiing. It's not an option. So we have to do it. It doesn't matter. And I tore my ACL my junior year of high school. And I remember for whatever reason, I could never learn to I still can't ride a bike after tearing my ACL for whatever reason, but I can ski. And I think it's really funny because there's always that acronym of, it's all just like riding a bike, but I think it's like funny that I can't,
Yeah, definitely. I know.
I haven't been injured while skiing yet, hopefully. So I don't have.
Is that an intimidation factor?
Yeah, cause I mean, my homeboy tore his ACL backcountry skiing like a year ago. And, for me, I wouldn't say I'm afraid of tearing my knee. I'm more afraid of have you ever seen those like videos of the people who are like falling down the mountain while they're riding up and like they just hurt other people? My biggest issue is I'd be afraid I'd hurt somebody else.
Yeah.
When they like slide down.
Yeah, when they slide down, like
I've
50
seen that.
people fall, like that's the type of thing that I'm afraid of. Like I don't wanna. Like, I don't have the issue falling, but I don't wanna fall in front of somebody else and I don't wanna get somebody else hurt. Cause that would just be.
Does powder, like having like fresh snow, influence the decision to go skiing on that day? Or try a new trick?
I would say so.
How would you try to tell somebody that they won't get hurt, like they're less likely to get hurt if there's a lot of powder?
I guess I would just tell them to fall and see what it feels like instead of just like being scared of it, I guess.
Just do it,
Just do it.
just try it. See how it works.
Do you think your peers would judge you negatively or positively if you tried skiing or snowboarding? But like, let's think about them like individually. Like, we'll start with skiing first.
I think they would, I don't think so.
I don't think they care. I mean, if they like skiing, they'd be like, oh, cool,
Yeah.
you can come with us.
Yeah.
I got a positive when I went, I think it was like a lot of my friends were like, this is amazing, that you're finally going, so like. Depends on the situation, but for me, it was positive.
Okay, what about snowboarding? Have any of you ever tried to snowboard before?
Yes,
Yes. What was that
it
experience?
sucks. You just fall
All
the whole time. And it's like straight on your chest fall, like, it's not fun.
Did people judge you for snowboarding?
Maybe.
Like-
Probably,
like
like someone
on the
seeing
mountain or
you is
something?
like, okay, you've fallen like 10 times in the past 5 minutes, I'm embarrassed.
And then I'm like, why am I even doing this? I know how to ski. I'm just going out here looking stupid for no reason, so. That's why I stopped doing it. Cause I can already go down the mountain with skis, so why am I trying to go down on one ski, fall on my face?
What gets you to try something new then? Whether it's skiing or a different sport or taking a new class?
I think if I've heard stuff about it, like if my friends have said like, oh, I've done it before, or like. If there's like evidence backing it up that like it's cool or something I would consider them probably.
Or like looks fun or looks gratifying. looks like something that'd be worth your time.
Yeah, like if you're getting, I mean, any sort of like significant benefit out of it, I think, yeah, or like. If people around you do it, not to be like, if they all jumped off a cliff, I would too, but I just think like. You know, the people you surround yourself with, you like wanna do the same things as them, so.
People would get me into it though, is like if somebody were to leave me, like invite me to. Like a martial arts class that I've never done or something else that's, so that I don't have to go alone and experience that alone, or if like. I'm in some deep rabbit hole with a specific sport and then like, now I just want to try it.
I would say like, for me. Speaking about it, I would say like I wanted to take advantage of nature, even though like it's winter, it's a perfect opportunity to be outside. And just explore the area, that's one thing. I would say the other thing is just like, it was kind of therapeutic. You know, you kind of just chill, you just put your music in, you just go down the mountain, you just have a blast, even with people or without people, you know. I haven't done that yet, so I'm not experienced enough, but I could imagine people doing that.
I guess for me, I really think the friend, doing it with me would be nice. But I also think like having a little like trial period, like making it where it's like affordable and you can just like try it out for a day and see if you like it would also be a good thing to get me into it.
If you encounter difficulties while learning, do you feel like you'd be able to overcome them? And what factors would affect your decision to continue or stop?
Like, yeah, I mean, I could be like, oh yeah, I can figure it out. Everyone gets better at things if you do them more. I think. Like encouragement, I have to be in a good mood would probably also help me get over those things. But like, I mean, I don't know, the first time I did anything, it was like so scary, and then by the end of the day, I was like, oh, I'm a pro, I can do anything. So I think like, it's just a matter of doing it a lot, which is like a bit inaccessible. To some people, so I think that also adds, but like, yeah, having a lot of time and space to like learn and. You know, if you don't care what other people think, that's also probably helpful, or being in a space where like everybody around you is being positive and helpful and. Maybe like giving you positive feedback, critiques. Yeah.
I would say, like if there's a good starter course, like I would avail. Horrible for that, you know, but like a place like Loveland, which is a little bit more low key, would be good. Not a place like Eldora, where you have like a bunch of other students kind of trying to be hot shots and stuff like that. I would say like if you want to start, like and get into it, if you want to find like a good chill resort or spot, you know.
Yeah, I'd agree.
How do you think we could make skiing and snowboarding more accessible to other people? I know price is a huge thing, but do you have any other suggestions?
I would say make the transportation more known. I think they don't do a good job, but I also think a lot of people just have friends that drive them up, so. Okay, I have a couple, but like, a couple of my roommates have cars, so there's no issue there, but I don't know how it is for other people.
I would say, even though we talked about prices, like a discount system for students, like all over the country. You know, like I know that like museums, for example, they offer like student tickets, like a lower price, right? So like if ski resorts or whatever passes for like, if you're a college student, you can get at least $100 off. I think that'd be a huge thing for students, especially because a good amount of college students support themselves. So I think if they just, even though it's not lower the price, but give a discount to the people who are applicable to that situation, it would help.
They do have that for icon.
They do?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. See, I
They
didn't know
have,
that.
they have a military discount for Epic and then, yeah, student discount for
I think
Icon.
it's like $300.
$300.
Yeah, I think you get it through the free ride. They really try to share that with the community. Yeah,
I'd probably say do that, but for rentals, transportation, et cetera, like the different stuff that goes into it.
How could transportation be less scary, more known, and like more accessible to students.
I feel like it just needs to be talked about, like advertised, and I mean, I didn't even know that existed, so I think. If you're saying like there's a bus that's gonna take you up there, just like, I don't know, put flyers somewhere, like have people talk about it, have people telling me about it. I don't know, just good advertising, I guess.
I just saw a flyer right outside the store for one the other day, and I was like, wow, that's crazy.
Well,
I had
yeah,
no idea either.
maybe I need to be a better consumer then, if they're advertising it more.
I'm also sure that there's not like enough bus stops for people to get picked up at, or they have to take like other buses to get to the bus stops where they can catch the bus.
That's what I was gonna say, like, if they made like a big, not a big building, but like a specific area designated for like people to either park their cars and like hop on the bus and et cetera, I think that'd be like extremely helpful for the campus. Cause there's just like 50 different bus stops, you know, if they just had like a specific one for like going to the mountain and coming back, I think that'd be really useful.
I think also if they had like a certain day, like once a month or something, that's like student day, everyone gets on the bus, like, I don't know, maybe it could. Like, it's a good vibe on the bus, you're not just sitting there bored for so long, like, I think that could be fun and accessible and. Like inviting to people who don't do it as much.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm also just thinking about like, if the bus is crowded, where am I gonna put my stuff? Like, I don't wanna sit with my skis in my lap the whole
Mhm.
way up, like, where do I put them? When I'm on the bus, do we have like space for it? Or just like managing that kind of situation would be a consideration.
Have any of you taught a friend before? And what made it enjoyable if you have?
I've given my friends tips. I mean, it's just like informal, so it's not really like that serious. It's more like just try this and see how it goes. And it's one of my friends, so I don't really have it to be upset with them or like, I know they're learning, so it's just like be patient with them, I guess.
Do you think your friends and family would encourage you or discourage you to continue to ski or getting better at skiing?
Definitely encourage.
Encourage, it's a good sport, like, it's pricey, but like, overall, it's a good sport. It's pretty, you're out in nature.
Do you all know a lot about like the dangers of skiing? Like, what's the first thing that comes to mind when you think of like getting injured?
Knee
Tearing your ACL.
off of the knee.
Maybe a concussion if you hit your head hard enough.
The ski patrol and the yellow things, I don't know what they're called.
What about drinking and skiing? What do we feel about drinking
When I
and
was
skiing?
tasting,
I really don't. I usually try to just focus on enjoying my time out there.
I know people do that a lot, I don't know how, but. With more experience, probably, maybe.
I also don't, but I think I see that there is like a line you can walk. I think that it is a sport where like at some points you just have to decide, okay, I need to go right now. I can't like think and try to stop or else it's gonna ruin everything. And I'm sure drinking helps that to some extent.
Mhm. How likely would you be to recommend this sport?
I'm
Yeah,
all for it.
definitely.
Pretty like, most likely recommend it, but I don't know much.
Don't look at me like that.
Would you recommend it?
I mean, like, yeah, I'd be like, do something, try to, find a hobby, find a sport. I'm all for everything, but I'd be like, go slow.
Yeah, totally fair. How important is it to you to feel confident and well prepared before trying this sport?
I mean, I think confidence is key. So like, I wasn't really confident going into it, but I mean, it's kind of like you gotta get that confidence, you have to kind of earn that confidence to get comfortable.
I would agree with that.
Do any of you have any thoughts to wrap up skiing and snowboarding? Do any of you have plans to go in anytime soon?
I'll probably go with next week, this weekend, next weekend,
Tomorrow.
yeah.
I'd say I'm gonna try to go one more time before the season ends, not at like a big spot though, I'm gonna try to go to like Loveland,
What time?
I'd say. And yeah, I'd probably go.
And do we have any favorite mountains? I didn't ask that earlier.
Loveland,
Lovely.
I've only been on Dales. From that.
I like Copper, I go there decent amount,
Like Winter Park,
yeah, that too.
Eldora's fun.
I like Copper. I also had an epic pass freshman year in Breckenridge. It's a really cool place.
Does distance affect your willingness to go to a certain mountain?
It's like all the same, honestly.
Yeah,
Other than Eldora, but like you're getting lower quality for the time. So like if I'm gonna go somewhere good, it doesn't really matter. It's all the same.
Yeah. I'll drive whatever.
Well, thank you for participating.
So close.
That concludes our focus group.
Thanks for having us.
Yes,
Oh.
thanks for having us.
Yeah, just click end, right?
Yeah.
Sweet. Leave meeting or end meeting for all? Is it leave meeting or end meeting for all? I do not want to fuck this up.
It's end meeting.